The morning after the first counterattack, a tense silence settled over the remnants of New York City. Smoke still rose from the ruins, and the once bustling streets were now eerily empty, littered with debris. Dr. Leha Ahmed and her team worked tirelessly, refining the counter-signal technology. Every second counted. The aliens would not wait, and they were already regrouping. From orbit, massive alien motherships hovered, their presence darkening the clouds. These were no ordinary vessels. They were mobile command centers, bristling with weapons that defied human comprehension. Analysts confirmed that the destruction of a single base had barely scratched the surface of their operations. President Swanson convened a global emergency conference, this time with direct live feeds from the battlefield. Leaders from across the world appeared on the screens, eyes reflecting both fear and determination. "We have faced the impossible," Swanson said, his voice firm, "and yet humanity stands. But this war is far from over. Our scientists have provided a glimmer of hope, a way to strike at the very heart of their forces. We must coordinate an all-out offensive." Leha and her team had decoded further details of the alien signals. They revealed a hierarchical structure. Centralized hubs controlled smaller units deployed in the cities. Destroy the hubs and the network falters. She realized this could be humanity's turning point. Meanwhile, alien retaliation began. Cities across Europe, Asia, and North America were under siege. In London, alien constructs marched along the Thames, tearing bridges apart and crushing vehicles beneath their immense weight. Citizens fled to underground tunnels, while soldiers tried desperately to hold the lines. The aliens exhibited strategy and intelligence. They were learning, adapting to human defenses. Tokyo faced similar devastation. Alien drones patrolled the skies, firing energy beams that rendered conventional anti-aircraft weapons ineffective. Yet, pockets of resistance emerged. Small human squads, armed with improvised weapons and guided by Leha's signal coordinates, began striking key alien units. In the United States, the situation was equally dire. Los Angeles, Chicago, and Miami reported mass incursions. Panic spread, but so did determination. Emergency broadcast systems encouraged civilians to assist in evacuation and support the military. Humanity had become a battlefield not just of firepower, but of resilience and ingenuity. Dr. Ahmed proposed a bold plan to the world leaders. "We can use the alien signals against them. Our counter-signal will disrupt their communication and control systems, but it must be synchronized globally. Any misstep could be catastrophic." The plan was audacious. Coordinated teams in each continent would transmit the counter-signal simultaneously, using modified satellite arrays and ground-based transmitters. This required perfect timing, flawless execution, and immense bravery. Meanwhile, in New York, a group of volunteers led by civilians and scientists joined forces with military units to create a mobile command center. They prepared the equipment to transmit the counter-signal, knowing that failure meant total annihilation. The first coordinated attempt began at dusk. Across continents, teams activated the transmitters. A high-pitched frequency filled the air, invisible yet overwhelming in power. Alien forces began to falter. Drones twitched erratically, and smaller bases lost their stability. The pulse spread through the mothership networks, causing brief but noticeable disruption. Yet the aliens were not defeated. Massive shock waves emanated from the motherships, responding to the counter-signal with countermeasures. Entire cities shook as energy beams lashed out, causing destruction on a scale never seen before. Humanity's survival hung by a thread. In New York, Dr. Ahmed realized they needed to take the fight directly to the largest mothership hovering over the city. She devised a plan with elite pilots to infiltrate the vessel. This required both courage and precision. Any miscalculation would be fatal. As the assault team prepared, President Swanson addressed the nation once more. Today, brave men and women will risk everything to strike at the heart of the invaders. Their courage is the embodiment of humanity's spirit. Stand strong and never forget, we fight not just for survival, but for our future. The pilots launched, maneuvering through alien defenses with unprecedented skill. Explosions erupted as alien drones targeted them, but the team pressed forward. Inside the mothership, the alien central control hub glowed ominously, pulsating with energy. The pilots planted the signal disruptors, an engineering device by Dr. Ahmed herself. As the disruptors activated, the mothership shuddered violently. Alien units across Earth wavered, some collapsing entirely, while others fell into disarray. Humanity's coordinated global counter-signal amplified the effect, causing a cascading failure in alien operations worldwide. In London, New York, Tokyo, and Sao Paulo, human forces exploited the chaos. Militias, soldiers, and volunteers struck alien strongholds, toppling them one after another. The streets, once filled with fear, now echoed with determined cries of resistance. But victory was not without sacrifice. Cities lay in ruins, countless lives were lost, families were torn apart. Yet amidst the destruction, a new sense of unity emerged. Humanity realized that survival depended not just on technology, but on courage, collaboration, and unwavering hope. Back on the battlefield, the mothership above New York began to collapse. Its systems overloaded by the counter-signal, it disintegrated in a fiery explosion visible for miles. A cheer rose from the survivors below, a sound that felt almost alien after the preceding chaos. Dr. Ahmed and her team monitored the aftermath, exhausted but relieved. "We did it," she whispered, though she knew the war was not completely over. The aliens might retreat, regroup, or strike again. Humanity had survived the first decisive blow, but vigilance would always be necessary. President Swanson addressed the world once more in Part 2. Today, brave men and women faced a force beyond comprehension. Today, we survived because we stood together. Humanity has shown courage, intelligence, and solidarity to overcome even the most impossible odds. Let this day be remembered, not as a day of fear, but as a testament to our resilience. We are strong, we endure, and we will continue to fight for our planet, our families, and our future. As the dust settled, humanity began to rebuild. The skies cleared, leaving traces of the alien incursion visible in scorched landscapes and shattered cities. Yet the global collaboration fostered during the crisis planted seeds of hope. Nations, scientists, and civilians recognized the importance of unity. Dr. Leha Ahmed looked to the horizon, weary but determined. "This is not the end, but it is the beginning of a new era. Humanity has faced the unimaginable and survived. Now we must prepare for whatever comes next, because if they return, we will be ready, and this time we will fight smarter, stronger, together." As Part 2 concludes, the Earth stands scarred but resilient. Humanity has survived an unprecedented alien invasion, learning lessons in courage, unity, and the indomitable spirit of survival. While the threat may never truly vanish, humanity now knows that even in the face of unimaginable odds, it is capable of triumph.
The sky over New York City was eerily calm that morning, yet an unsettling tension hung in the air. People walked their streets, sipping coffee, glancing at phones, unaware of the approaching storm. Then, without warning, strange glowing objects appeared in the sky. At first, they were tiny, flickering lights, almost whimsical, yet their movements defied any human aircraft known to exist. Panic began to ripple through the city as the lights moved faster, forming shapes, impossibly precise geometric patterns that seemed almost intelligent. Within minutes, reports flooded in from across the globe: London, Tokyo, Dubai, Sao Paulo, all cities experiencing the same phenomenon. Governments scrambled to assess the threat. Inside the White House, President Mark Swanson was briefed urgently. His advisors spoke in hushed, tense tones. "Sir, unidentified aerial objects have entered restricted airspace. They're deploying what appear to be base structures across major metropolitan zones," one aide said. Swanson exhaled slowly, staring at the digital maps displaying the unprecedented invasion. "This isn't a normal UFO sighting," he said. "We need full-scale mobilization, alert the military, evacuate civilians, and most importantly, find out their intent. We cannot negotiate with unknown powers blindly." Meanwhile, chaos unfolded on the streets. Traffic jams grew as drivers abandoned vehicles in confusion. Power grids faltered inexplicably. Airplanes were grounded mid-flight as mysterious energy pulses interfered with communication systems. At New York University, Dr. Leha Ahmed, a leading astrophysicist, monitored radio signals on her lab equipment. Her eyes widened in disbelief as she noticed an unusual transmission, a repeating pattern embedded in the frequency spectrum. "This is not random," Leha muttered to herself. She quickly called the National Science Agency. "It's intelligent," she explained. "This is not a message for communication. It's strategic. They're coordinating something massive. My calculations indicate they intend to declare war on humanity." The president, now fully aware of the looming threat, convened an emergency summit with world leaders via secure video links. "All nations must coordinate," Swanson urged. "This is no longer a regional crisis, it's global. Military, scientific, and civilian resources must act as one." As the sun set, the first waves of alien forces descended. Unlike the small flickering lights, these were colossal metallic entities towering over city skyscrapers. They radiated a faint blue luminescence, their surfaces etched with alien symbols. Their landing disrupted communications, and their sheer mass sent shockwaves through the urban landscapes. Dr. Ahmed and her team worked tirelessly. She discovered that the alien transmissions carried not only signals to coordinate their forces, but also psychological manipulations designed to incite panic and fear in humans. It was a double-edged attack, physical destruction combined with mental destabilization. By nightfall, New York was a war zone. Alien machines tore through the streets, neutralizing human defenses with devastating efficiency. Fighter jets engaged them, only to find conventional weapons ineffective. The city's skyscrapers shook, fires erupted, and the screams of the trapped civilians echoed into the night. In a hidden lab beneath the city, Dr. Ahmed finally cracked part of the code. She realized the alien transmission contained embedded coordinates revealing the location of their central command bases. If these bases could be neutralized, the invasion might be halted. She contacted President Swanson. "This is the key," she said urgently. "I can trace their signals to their bases. We can strike, but it requires precision and coordinated strikes from all Allied forces. This is our only chance." Meanwhile, civilians formed makeshift shelters. Volunteers risked their lives to evacuate the wounded. Emergency broadcast systems warned people across continents to prepare for further attacks. The scale of the conflict was unprecedented. In London, the Thames became a theater of destruction. Alien machines marched through streets, bending steel and smashing vehicles. Soldiers fired relentlessly, yet the invaders' armor was almost impervious. People fled in terror, trying to understand the alien motives. Tokyo experienced similar devastation. The city's iconic skyline was silhouetted against the glowing blue lights of the alien forces. Helicopters struggled to fight the invaders, but they were systematically overwhelmed. Back in the United States, President Swanson addressed the nation. "My fellow citizens, today marks a battle for our very survival. But let this be known, we are united. Humanity will fight, adapt, and endure.
These aliens may be technologically superior, but they underestimate the human spirit. We will prevail. Dr. Ahmed's team, working through the night, mapped out a plan. Using the alien signal data, they intended to create a counter-signal, a disruptive pulse capable of destabilizing the invaders' command units. It was risky. If they failed, the invasion would intensify. In New York, the first counterattack took shape. Fighter jets armed with experimental weapons, guided by the signal coordinates, began their sorties. Explosions lit the night sky as alien bases were struck. Some fell, others resisted. Amid the chaos, civilians helped wherever they could. Young engineers, doctors, and even teenagers with technical skills contributed. Humanity's resilience became evident in every act of courage. By dawn, the first major alien base was neutralized. However, Dr. Ahmed warned, this is only the beginning. They will retaliate, and we must be ready. As Part 1 concludes, the world braces for what promises to be a prolonged and devastating war. Humanity has its first taste of hope and its first encounter with unimaginable terror.